cookies here. Accept all cookies. Customize cookies. How the hell I get rid of that thing?
I just X out of it. Hey, everybody. We're live.
Hello.
Anyway,
Hello.
we got people.
Hello.
Brucey's trying to get on, and I don't know, Bruce. It shows you in the basement, but then it says devices not connected. So the link I put is the real link. I mean, everybody else is on here. So anyway, Robert, I don't mind you coming up, Robert, but I got to see more than your forehead. So because Robert, you're showing that, Robert, and I need to see more of your face.
Bruce could be in the basement because there's a tornado warning or something.
but is Bruce on black? Is it black screen with Bruce?
No, gray. Like he's there, like you guys show up, but there's no image. It says not connected. Like
maybe the camera. Maybe the camera isn't connected. Maybe you want to do the old swapperoo.
It's likely the liberal government cutting him out for what he said at some point in time.
Go to settings, Bruce. Turn your camera and audio on.
Bruce, go to your bank account and send me some of your money fast. Then the picture will come right back.
Barry's here.
Yeah. Hello, Barry.
And hello. David's here. Brucey, try it again, Bruce. We'll definitely get you. Shawnee Hills, hello.
Bruce, this time be dressed, will you?
Yeah. Hold on, there he is. Let's see who that. Yeah. Oh, now we got him. There he is.
Hey, Bruce.
What happened, Bruce? No video or something, Bruce?
Well, it's almost like the stream had to start in YouTube before I could access it in StreamYard.
Huh.
Anyway, we're there.
It's likely because you trimmed your hair and your beard and you're looking so good today, buddy.
Hey, it's my anniversary. It's my anniversary today. I got to look good.
Happy anniversary.
There you go. Mine was last Sunday.
The glare filter in the camera. Just
how many years, Bruce?
Put a hat on.
33.
Yeah, mine's 34 last Sunday. What was I going to say? Oh, I followed this other channel. It's a guy and his girlfriend, wife called DD Speed Shop. And they do like old hot rods and things like that. They moved to Alberta. And I was thinking about you, Bruce, because you're Alberta, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because, I look at your area and stuff, and it's a popular area. And I guess, do people have to go through there to get places?
Yes.
Is it a common pass through?
It's
because every time people going through, we stopped at this Red Deer. And I'm like, I know that.
Yeah. No, Red Deer's not as popular as either Calgary or Edmonton because that's our
Calgary.
That's
Calgary.
the two national highways go through there.
But is that part of Alberta as well, Calgary? Or okay.
Calgary goes from the Montana border right up to the Northwest Territories border in Canada, like way up.
Yeah, it seemed like a very popular area. They moved from Ontario, which is
a huge oil field area. Like it's
Bruce has the greatest premier of all the provinces in Canada.
So I'm not going to talk about politics.
Yeah, but she made an announcement now that she's taking care of the Albertans and protecting the rights of Albertans. She's passing new legislation.
Stella!
She wants to mess with our OAS.
Well, she wants to say that you're
CPP,
allowed to make a choice of what you want.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
You got to live here to understand.
Robert, I can only see half your head. Back up.
Hi, Stella.
Stella, been a while.
Yeah, it's better. Hello, Robert. How are you? All right. Anyway, I'll start out. We do the first hour again. Tech Talk. So what I did this weekend, a couple things. I had a pull-on backpack blower, cheap blower that you get in the box store, the yellow and black backpack. My wife's cousin drops it off and says it won't start. Okay. Now, the tank's bone dry, so who knows when the last time you started it. And the hoses are oozing because they're like cheap, whatever. And I said, what'd you do? He goes, I bought a carburetor. I said, did you get the 1995 Chinese from Amazon? He goes, how'd you know? I said, well, because that's what everybody does. Anyway, I took it out, and I took off the old carburetor, and I noticed that L-shaped bend with the throttle wire coming out has the two nuts on it, okay? But the linkage that came on the new carburetor, you have to screw in a ferrule. And I'm like, that ain't going to work. So the 2 screws on top, I end up just taking off the little bracket, put it on top, and I say, okay, that'll work. But then problem number 2, the intake manifold is loose. I'm like, oh, that's weird. T25. So tighten up on the intake manifold. That could have had something to do with it too. So tighten that up. And then I go to put the gasket on. I go, wait a minute. The impulse line doesn't line up. The impulse hole doesn't line up at all. Now it had a hole and a channel, and none of it lined up with any of the holes in the carburetor. So I ended up taking the gasket with a screwdriver and making a little slot, punching out a slot, and started on like the 3rd pull. Runs good. So I said, okay. But he's coming over today at like 2:30, so I'm going to have to scoot for 5 minutes when he gets here. Hopefully he won't want to like that for whatever. But anyway, so that's...
you can just, put him in my direction.
He's going to want to give me something, and I don't want anything. And then he's going to want to talk. And I was like, well, your cousin's not here. So anyway, then the next thing, what else? I had a Cub Cadet 2146, which is a 2000 model MTD Cub Cadet. But what's weird about it, it has a Linamar engine. And those who aren't familiar with Linamar, they got the rights from Onan to make single-cylinder gas Onans using the Onan patterns, but Linamar's name. So this actually says Linamar 388cc, which is a 14 horsepower. And Stella, are you modding at all? Because if you want to throw some of the comments up.
Oh, I can if you want me to. Sure.
Yeah, I would say while I'm talking. Thanks. Anyway,
okay.
So it's a Linamar, and it hadn't run in maybe 2 to 4 years. So I take off the carburetor, and it's full of powder. The thing is powder. So I ultrasonic it and clean it up and all that stuff. And it has a weird looking fuel pump on it, almost like the old square Kohler aluminum fuel pump they had, those little square ones, vacuum fuel pump. Anyway, I don't know if this thing's any good. So I look it up, no longer available. And if you can get one, it's $130. And I'm like, yeah, right. So, but the fuel line and everything, he had it. Oh, and he also had a bread baking tray underneath the tractor. And I go, what's that for? Oh, yeah, there's a fuel leak somewhere. Okay. So anyway, I look up videos on this 2146, and right where the gas tank nipple comes out on the bottom of the gas tank, under the fender pan, of course, it always cracks. So it's all right. So I take off the fender pan, and it is moldy, black and white and gray, and just total mold all over the whole thing. So I got my Harbor Freight pressure washer, my electric pressure washer that I bought last year with the coupons, and I love that thing. It works great. And what's nice about that is it only comes on when you hit the wand. The motor goes on and off. Yeah, I got it for $75. Anyway.
I told you, Kenny, you're going to love it.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. So anyway, I cleaned everything up. I replaced about 5 feet of fuel line. But here's a tip for you. And I didn't realize this either until I saw it online. Zip ties are reversible. That little black tab in there, you put a little screwdriver in there and you go.
Push down on it. Yep.
And you could take out now, because this one had the captive zip ties with the little arrow coming out where it sticks into a hole to hold it there. And I don't have any of those. I should buy some, but I don't have any. And I said, I'm going to reuse those. So I take a little screwdriver, a little steel screwdriver I had, and I went like that, and I reused them. And what I did, I took the old fuel line with all those zip ties on it. Yeah, that little black tab. Hold on, Stella. That little black tab. Yeah, that right there. That little black tab in the center. If you push down on that with a screwdriver,
all you have to do is stick it in there and hold it. That's what he said. Yeah.
Some of them are hard to do.
They are, but this one here, like I said, it had the little prongs in it. Do you have any with the prongs, Stella, that go into a hole? And he's I have some of the zip ties.
Well, I have a couple somewhere, but I can't put my hands on them right now.
I have the ones with the hole in them, so you can put a screw in it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any with the little pointy things. So anyway, I was able to reuse them.
Yeah, you can
tab, just like a quick connector.
Teeny tiny screwdriver.
Yeah, teeny. It worked. Everything worked. And anyway, John, any damage? I don't think John got any damage. Anyway, so I took the old fuel line out about 6 feet, put the new fuel line down, new fuel filter, and I'm saying, is this fuel pump going to work? So I finally put it all back together. Weird setup on this engine, totally weird setup. The fuel line goes behind the air cleaner base plate and gets held in with a fender washer and a Phillips screw. It actually holds a fuel line, so the fuel line can make like an L bend. It actually holds it there with a fender washer. It's kind of cool, but kind of weird. Anyway, so I got that all set and filled up the fuel tank, fresh fuel, all that. And it's funny, that fuel tank, 2.5 gallon, the hole was about a millimeter. Teeny hole in the end of the fuel tank. I'm like, really? So I put a fuel filter on it, third or fourth crank. It started, runs great. I go to cycle the PTO. I'm like, what's that? Well, the belt was not even connected to the pulley on the deck. It was off, and it was bad anyway. The belt was old and half shredded anyway. So I went to my old friend, Dr. Amazonian, and got the belt today. It came. My wife said someone was on our porch because she was sleeping in the couch. Someone was on our porch at 4 a.m. It came at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Because it said guaranteed delivery 4 to 8 a.m. free. And I was like, okay. And 4 o'clock, a car, not a truck, a car, some guy threw the and it's a factory MTD 954-3055A belt. So I was like, for $30. I was like, you can't beat that. The dealer gets like $49 for those belts. And when you see those MTD deck belts at like Home Depot and Lowe's, they're getting like $50 for those things. So $30 delivered was kind of cool. Hey, Brando's here. Going to a tractor show. Anyway, so got the belt today, got to put that on, got to deliver this thing, and a few other things going on, but basically that's it for me. What about you, Stella? You got any work going this weekend or this week?
Well, I have keep people dropping stuff off, and I haven't gotten around to it because my shop is cluttered with stuff I can't get people to come pick up.
Yeah, do you charge them stuff?
No, I should. A bunch of them are friends, and it's like you keep asking,
Yeah, but you talking weeks, months? What are you talking?
Well, let's see. That one is a couple of months.
Wow.
That one, I did a video on. I haven't edited it yet, but
But do you get paid for your parts first, so you're not out money?
No. I mean, not. I mean, sometimes I do, but it's usually not that many parts. You know what I mean? And worst case, if they don't come get it, I can yank most of the parts off. Fuel line, that sort of thing. No big deal. I mean, I might have like $5 invested in a fuel filter and a bit of fuel line or whatnot. So I don't care. I just need to get around to either selling them or moving them or something. But I got this one weed eater, and this is from the guy that says, what's going on with the weed eater? So it's like, okay, great, I'll fix it for you. And then, it's got a crankcase leak and everything like that. And I text him, I say, hey man, call me. We need to talk about your weed eater. It's so old. I mean, it's a great old Echo. I can replace the, yank it apart. You can still get the gaskets. You can't get some of the other stuff for it. So, if it was mine, I would go ahead and fix it and take care of it. But
is it the gray one, a gray SRM 225?
Yeah, well, it's SRM 2800 or 20.
Oh yeah, same thing. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, one of the really early ones, and they're great. They're great machines, but it's not like popping a fuel filter in there and maybe something else. It's like a good hour and probably an hour and a half of my time because my shop is such a wreck. Disassemble the whole thing, clean all the mating surfaces, put that gasket kit in there, and the gasket kit's like $20 or whatnot. So I was like, call me back, dude.
And that's a real carburetor too, right? With adjustments and everything.
Yeah. It's the original, and actually he brought it to me years and years ago, and he had got a real carburetor. He put a new carburetor on and couldn't get it going. He couldn't get it adjusted right. And I initially thought it was an Amazon piece of garbage, and I actually had his old carburetor here from years and years. I keep all that sort of stuff, and I put tags and labels on it so I know what it came from and what it was.
Zama or Walbro?
It's a wait a minute, now you asked, I don't remember. It's a Zama.
So C1U probably.
Zama?
Yeah, it's probably C1U or C1Q.
C1U or C1Q, yeah.
Yeah, it's a C1, whatever it is. It's got so much crap in there I can't see. But he replaced it with the real deal. How many ever 6 years ago the last time I saw this. So and it's a neighbor. I don't want to be that kind of neighbor. Because my backyard looks like Fred Sanford's front yard. I don't want to be too annoying to the neighbors. Let me put it that way. So anyway, that's my life. And that and floating down the river of my backyard.
I was going to say, how'd you make out with the storm?
I was in here last night right when it started, a nice little steady rain, and then it got worse and worse and worse, and got heavier and heavier. Still not a lot of wind, just like a downpour. And I was probably out here maybe an hour, just sort of waiting for it to go away, and then it slowed down enough that I could, not get totally soaked going into the, from my shop to the house. And there was like 3 inches of water that I had to slog through because it just. Me and Klaus and I were talking about this morning. I got zero. There's like no real topsoil, so there's nothing absorbs in. I just wound up with a swamp, a lake, and on the side of my house, a river going down. So
what were you talking about the other day? You got to get another drain put in or something. You said
there is still right where because I had that guy that boned me. I put in. I had another guy do
I know. I didn't want to say anything, Klaus.
I got that too, Klaus.
You ask, but no, I gotta have him put that in because it still drains right off of where the main part. It everywhere else is this one spot, and I got this one foundation vent that it now just pours right under my house, and I'm like, I got to get this taken care of. So anyway, yes.
Good thing Mick's not here. He'd be like, "Go, Jerry, go!"
No, come on, no. It's the guy that fixed the stuff from the guy that boned me on the deck. So and the French drain.
You're making it worse. Hey,
I could have said it a different way, and then Ken would you'd have to put like the adults only thing on
Mick
here.
Gets here.
Oh, God.
Hopefully it was safe.
Well, it is. It's on here.
John wanted to make sure you used the right wrench.
That's been my week. No, I did.
Oh boy.
It's okay. I forgot to get it out. I was going to show you. I just bought a Milwaukee tool, my first Milwaukee tool. But most of you guys don't know what the joke is. So anyway, yeah.
Mike asking about plate compact GX160. I mean, 3600 is the max no load on a Honda like that.
Yeah.
Motorhead saying
I do about 3150.
Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong. They're not going to spit it on you.
Yeah, everything is 3180 for me. It's where my ear It's where my ear is.
Yeah. So
Randall wants to know where everybody's from on the panel.
Who is it?
Randall Shaw. He says he's new and he's just wondering where everybody is from. Can we do a roll call?
Well, yes, I'm in southwestern Connecticut, USA.
Eastern North Carolina.
Central Connecticut. Klaus?
Yeah, sorry, Denmark. That's in Europe.
What about you, Robert? Where are you from?
I'm in Eatonton, Georgia.
Red Deer, Alberta, Canada.
Port Colborne, Ontario, Canada.
So we go all over the world. We don't
all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, all over the place.
We have people as far as Tommy.
We have Tommy in Australia.
Oh,
yeah.
UK, mixed mowers.
UK, all over the UK. And I don't know did we ever have anyone from Hawaii? I don't know if we ever did.
No.
I don't know.
We did have Alaska one time.
Yeah, we had New Zealand too, right?
New Zealand,
sometimes John Clem goes on cruises. Does that count?
Yeah, we got a Mississippier in the side over here.
Yeah, Henry, you're a little blurry. Arch is saying you're a little blurry.
Oh yeah.
You got any dirt on the lens?
I don't know.
Nah, it looks like a connection problem to me.
Yeah. Oh wow, you are blurry. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you so blurry, Hank?
I don't know.
It's weird. On the thumbnail in the basement, you're perfectly clear, but when I zoom in on you, you're.
Hank, hang those bifocals over the lens of the camera, and we'll see if it improves.
So, Hank, have you worked on any this week, or are you still working on the yard?
Oh, I'm still working on a yard, but the last video I made with that lift for the riding mowers that you can jack them up sideways.
Yeah, an angle. That's great for the decks. I like that. What did you say? It's under $100.
Yeah, it was like $66 for that.
What was that? Temu,
exactly.
Yeah.
So next video I'm making is I picked up one of these what they call a ladder for the tailgate of a pickup truck.
Oh, to get up into the truck, you mean?
Yeah, instead of using a bucket or some kind of.
Well, I think is it Fords? One of them, I think it's Fords, have the ladder built in on some of those.
Yeah, that you drop down. Yeah.
From the tailgate.
This one comes off the side. You add it onto you screw it on and comes off the side and down. And it's removable, so it's not going to be interfering with anything else if you want, right?
I know on some of the newer ones too, they have like a handle on and then the bumper acts as a step. They actually put a step in.
Yeah. But that's about all that. I've been working really diligently on the yard because what's happening is I'm going to be adding onto the house, so I need to remove a lot of stuff.
Time's a wasting, Hank. I hope they start digging soon.
Well, right now it's in the process of going into the town for exception and all that. Mm-hmm. Once that's going to be gung ho.
Hopefully it'll go pretty quick. Yeah, building's pretty quick on small additions. It's not too bad. Yeah. What about you, Klaus? What do you got working? I know you said front mowers? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, those front mounted mowers, rear steer. They're pretty popular over here. I had a. I think a lot of people have done it, but I reached the point this time. No more aftermarket carburetors for Brix engines. This is my second one. I put an aftermarket on a Brix Powerbuilt. It's a Nicky without the anti-backfire solenoid.
But I put one second. William had a comment here. Hold on 1 second. William had a comment. Just quickly, William. When I've seen that with saws, once they warm up, if they start adding erratically, it's usually an air leak, a seal leak or something.
Air leak.
Yeah, usually air leak. So spray your soapy water, whatever, around, or
cart spray.
Use a propane torch, unlit, and put it around where the thing is. It raises it, but you got to find the air leak, William. It's an air leak. Sorry about that.
That's how I found this leak on this one, was just a little bit of spraying that propane around there, and the RPMs went down, and then that's when I got out and did the pressure testing.
I tried doing that, and I lost my eyebrow, but that's besides the point. I didn't realize the damn thing was on, to be honest with you. So,
well, it's hard. With these type of
if you have the gas on low, you don't even hear it.
No, this one you don't. You have one of these and,
but see, you can hear it. I could actually
hit the button.
Yeah, but can you hear that? That little
I was outside.
You can't hear that while the saw is running.
Mind the eyebrows. Mind the eyebrows.
Yeah.
No, and so this aftermarket carburetor, I slapped it on. It ran great. Started right up. Could even start it out. Perfect. Returned the machine. Guy calls 2 days later. I was mowing, first mow after I got it, and after about 10 minutes, it just started losing power. So no more aftermarket carburetors for me. I just found the last 3 ones I had in stock, and they are now in the bin. I mean, that is just too much hassle. I mean, and to be honest, the saving is all the customers. It's not even, I don't even make more money off of them. So forget it. OEM now. The bad downside was that when I ordered it, and I ordered it for the main importer of Brix parts in Denmark. Yeah, we're sorry. It's not in stock. It'll be 28 days before it gets here.
Right.
28. Holy cow.
28 days. Found it in Germany. It'll be here in 5. But it doesn't matter. It's no more aftermarket carburetors. People just have to wait and pay the price or not have it fixed.
I just don't do it. And not that I've had problems with the ones I've bought. It's people bring me gear that has aftermarket stuff on it. And I'm just like, why? Let's just put the real deal on there and be done with it.
And in addition to that, I got a question for the panel and the guys and girls in the chat. A Brix fuel pump, that's operated from the impulse vacuum. Yeah. Mm. Can that fail in a way so it creates overpressure?
Can it what?
No.
Can it fail in a way where it creates overpressure?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
then it can only be
the
the
diaphragm's rated for one specific. And
and there isn't a heck of a lot of
fail
pressure.
and leak, but I don't think it could go the other way.
There isn't a lot of pressure driving it either.
No, it's just a little bit of
and you can't rebuild them.
Yeah.
No,
William, that is
not
crazy.
the modest. Not
North,
the
south,
modest.
I rebuilt one on an 8-horse Briggs generator. Old.
No, but I mean the old Mikuni fuel pumps from Briggs, you can rebuild them. You can buy a kit, but the kit is more expensive than a new OEM fuel pump from Briggs.
But it's funny, even the Briggs ones, they all are made by McCuney.
Oh, yeah.
And they look like a chainsaw diaphragm.
We're talking about with the 3 inlets, right? The fuel inlet.
Yeah. In the
those
outlet.
are like over here. Sten sells them. I think they list for around $34 Canadian, and they go on Kohlers. We've put them on Kohler engines. We put them on Briggs.
Yep. I bought one at the dealer in a Briggs bag. I opened it up, and the back of it molded in McCuney.
Yeah.
William,
Hard to believe it's under $30 for that Mikuni.
Yeah, ours. I've seen. My dealer gets $18 for them in the Briggs bag. Yeah.
William, your question about turning the saw around and around, that's usually to check for crank seals.
Crank seals.
You
North, south,
still
and
have
south.
an air leak in many other places. The intake boot, all kinds of places. And in the case of this little saw, I mean this weed whacker I have right here, where the cases go together, the gasket on the base. So there's lots of places, but typically turning the saw around it is only to check for crank seals.
Yeah, crank seals. But generally, though, I had a Husqvarna 136. It idled great after about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
And you can also get the Husqvarna ones where you can get if you drop it, it'll create a leak in the housing, and the housing is part of the engine, so it'll actually leak through the housing, and there is no fix for that.
I had one customer brought in, his chain was so damn tight, it was actually leaking out the seal because he distorted by pulling the crank so far to one side. I loosened the chain, it ran fine.
Yeah.
So.
I bet that was hard to start.
It was hard to pull, but then all of a sudden I noticed with the brake off the chain, I'm like, wow, this feels tight.
John, be careful. They got internet access on the boat.
Yeah, wait. Anywho, what else you got, Klaus? Anything else?
Hi, Steve. No, that's about it. I've been working on a small zero-turn push mower that was donated to the channel. Really nice
video. Acetone does not make the cure-all. If anyone wants to catch his latest video.
So no, but that's it from my side.
Robert, what are you working on, buddy?
Well,
and don't say the magic C word, all right?
Yeah, I had to make new foam pre-filters for 3 of my pieces of Shandao equipment. The original foam filters, you just touch it.
Really disintegrate? Just disintegrate?
Yeah. So I took a foam filter that came off my Kohler engine, and I laid one of the good filters on it, and I just cut it. Boom. I'm like, okay. But now I got to figure out what's going on with this generator. Let me turn it around.
What did you say, a 3,500 watt, a smaller one?
Yeah, so
it's got the Huai carb you showed me, right? Huai?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What's the matter? What's it not doing?
It's hunting and surging real bad. It's not bad, but still hunting and surging on a generator. Yeah. To me, that is not, that
what's the recoil look like? What does it say on the recoil? What is that, like a 173? How many cc? What's it say on the recoil?
Yeah, from what I can see, it says 196.
Oh, 196. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Briggs.
Yeah.
Okay. Briggs. But that's you showed
Robert,
me
does it surge when you have like a load on it, like 1,000 watt or a 1,500 watt load? A lot of those will surge until they get a load on them.
Yeah, but hey, I got it solved. He sent me a picture. I'll show you. Hold on. He had sent me a picture. Hold on one second.
But you still have to listen to it when it's not loading.
Yeah. What the heck?
Did he clean the carb on it? Robert, did you clean the carb?
I sprayed some
Now you gotta take it off, buddy. Spraying that shit don't work.
Yeah. Emulsion tube and clean the vents and work on the idle circuit.
Yeah, but Robert, you sent me a picture, and I'll show you exactly what you got to do. Here, you sent me a picture of the Huai carburetor. All right, and right on the top there, you can see our favorite pilot jet.
Yeah, got to clean it
up.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's what's doing it, Robert. Take out that Phillips-headed idle screw, pop out that black pilot jet
plug,
and clean it out.
It's guys,
a very, very small wire. I use a wire out of a wire brush.
Yeah.
A little teeny wire. But once you clean that out, Robert, it'll stop hunting.
And if it's still hunting, you need a micro drill and open it 1/1000th of an inch. That's it.
I usually open them from 13 to like 14 or 15.
Whoa. Before you do that, you need to check the O-rings. That little guy will have 2 O-rings on there. And that can also cause a problem as well. So before you start drilling stuff out and doing irreparable changes.
Yeah. If the O-ring looks square, all bets are off. You got to replace it with a new one.
Yeah.
Our friend Tom in Australia, though, he found the part number. Did anybody have the part number for those?
I got about 100 of those in a drawer from.
Yeah, I bought them on Amazon. It was a 1x3 millimeter.
Yeah, we bought the kit, the full kit.
No, but they didn't have these in the kit. I had to actually buy them separately.
Oh,
and they were
the O-rings.
Yeah, they were like 10 cents a piece. I bought 100 of them.
Buy the full kit, Stella, and 1x3 was in there.
And I will say
2x4 was in there, but not 1x3.
I will say, depending on the size of the engine, not all of them has 2 O-rings on them. Some of them only have one at the bottom.
But I always see when the edge of the O-ring is square. You got the carb off, Robert? Still on there?
Okay. It's still on there, and you see where my hand is at.
Robert, you
and
can take off that
no carb clean on that jet because you'll destroy the O-ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see where my hand is at, right here.
Yeah.
This tube, and it goes all the way up to the underside of the gas tank. I'm like,
it's a vent.
Yeah.
Tank vent. That's all it is.
But I've never heard of that carburetor before. I'm like,
what?
Yeah.
Did you say it was a 3x1?
No, it's 1x3. It's different. 1x3 is different than 3x1.
Oh.
So basically.
Yeah.
The last time I had math.
You have a 1x2 in that kit. See how your first one is a 1x2? There is no 1x3.
So
I know.
This is exciting. I'm learning something. This is so fun to me.
Stella made me buy the kit too, and it still doesn't fit. I don't know what that.
Well, they have several kits, but not all of them are like this. It's the one that has the 1,010 piece kit.
Yeah.
I think we all bought a kit.
I bought a pack of 50 on Temu, Amazon, something. Pack of 50. So
I bought the little ones to use on the accelerator pumps. On the C1U carburetors, where you have the accelerator pumps leaking that floods out. But it was a 1x3, and it was 10 cents a piece, so it wasn't too bad. But Robert, I think if you take that out, and you a lot of times though, you could take out that pilot jet without taking the carburetor off.
Yeah, he doesn't have to take it off.
Unscrew that Phillips, screw it in till it bottoms. Remember the number of turns. Then take it out.
Skip's got a question. Skip's got a question in the chat, and Skip, I will start by checking if your needle is seating properly. Pressure test your carburetor. If it's got a fuel pump on it, which it most likely does.
It's probably a McCune carburetor, though.
The fuel will run by the needle and get force fed into the engine. That's what makes it running rich. Or I'm assuming that your air filter is good and all that stuff.
But how does he know
auto control set right where it's not still choking it out?
Yeah, but is it choke closing? Is it opening all the way? Is it black smoke? How do you know it's written? The plugs just.
Guys, hold on. I assume if somebody writes in here it runs rich, that they have their shit down cold, so they know that black smoke is running rich. So. No, but you don't know. But people get an answer based on their ability to ask a question.
Yeah.
So.
Skip Miller has a question too here.
Yeah, that was the one we were talking about.
That's the one, I think.
Yeah.
But start by checking, pressure test your carburetor, Skip. See if it holds pressure. If it does not, that's your problem.
Yeah, if it doesn't hold pressure, it'll flood.
Yeah, fuel will run by the needle, even though it's supposed to be closed. It gets force fed into the engine. It runs rich.
Motorhead gave a good tip here. He says the HVAC O-rings, they're green. They don't go bad. Never used them.
Yeah.
If you could get them the right size, that's the thing.
Yes.
But
Right.
do read his warning, because he's really right about that one. I mean, green O-rings from China is not the same as green O-rings from over here.
No.
No. Oh, and the other thing was when I got it, we had to break it out because of that possible power outage. So I went to pull start it. Let me turn the camera around again.
There you go, Skip. So
That's enough. What do you power with that?
Operator.
It's only like 40. How many watt is that, Robert?
It's 3,500 continuous, but its startup is 4,375.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know.
Now, do you put a transfer switch in your power, or how do you actually connect it?
Well, we just it's just a little temporary thing. Somebody here has a medical device, and we had to have power.
Yep.
Power went out.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it's like me. I just hook it up to the fridge that has the beer.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't realize that, like medical pumps and things like that.
Oh yeah.
But this
I definitely try that pilot jet first.
But I will say, guys, I mean, I know it's a way back, but James Condon did his, all his generator videos, but he did one with the diesel engine. I fell in love with that diesel engine.
Sip the fuel and all that, sure.
He sips the fuel, and fuel doesn't go bad, and chucks along like, man.
Yeah.
No electricity in terms of the engine, no wires, no shut-off valve. It just chucks along. I love that thing. I should get that.
But the other day when I had to get it out and test it, I went to pull start it. And I'm like, what the fool? So we get it up on the porch. I go to pull start it again. The rope broke. It was real fancy. I don't know what they call it. This rope right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Wuhan number 6.
But if
it does that.
If you're pulling it the way you're showing it, it's going to break every time. You got to pull it off the side.
That bushing in there will cut it. I had that happen to one of my Briggs on my Snapper rear engine rider. As I was loading it onto the trailer and I started it, I kept it running the whole time. It ran while I was on the trailer going to Mom's. It cut her lawn, and then I put it back on the trailer. I had it still idling. I get home, I ran into the backyard and shut off.
Yeah, but like I said, I was lucky to be able to get that pull start fixed because the thing doesn't have an electric start. But and this air cleaner,
those clips, those fun clips. Yeah,
that
on the bottom.
That one's easy, but the one on the bottom, I had to lay on the floor and figure out how to get it back to holding the air cleaner on. So
just a chunk of foam in there.
You got to get your fingers trained to like memory feel on how it's supposed to be, and then it's easy.
Yeah. Like I said, I bought this thing at Lowe's back in 2020, but the thing is, this engine, they could not sell it in California because it was
But that's not a problem for you.
Yeah.
Nope. But like I said, it's a good generator. It's just,
if it's going to run medical equipment, Robert, just make sure you put some good fuel.
Oh, my wife's cousin's here to pick up the pool on. With that, I'm going to give it to Bruce. You take over, and I'll be right back.
See, if I was using it on medical equipment, I'd get an inverter.
Yeah.
Pure power coming out.
That's what Motorhead wrote here. He does that, hooks it up to the car. Smart.
Because the thing is, I would love to know what the THD is on this thing because, like I said, James Condon, he's always doing the THD readings. But if I have to, I might just have to buy an inverter for that piece of medical equipment because till I get this thing running right, that hunting surgeon, to me, that sounds like that would call.
I mean,
one thing I would do is clean that jet that's underneath that Phillips idle screw setting.
Now, the only thing, Robert, you're not going to like about an inverter is if you ever got to clean the carburetor on an inverter because you've been letting it sit without running, you ain't going to like it, buddy.
Yeah, I've seen many a video where guys have had to. I mean, all the stuff you got to take off to get to the carburetor. I'm like,
well, you can get. I was thinking of a battery operated inverter without an engine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Good point.
I mean, Motorhead
Those
says
medical pieces don't draw much current.
He just hooks it up to the car battery, and he has the power he needs. That's smart money.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and Gary is also saying here, if you're hooking that generator that you got there, Robert, up to medical devices, the power output from that is too dirty to run it.
Yeah.
So you may want to get one of those suitcase Hondas.
Good move, bass guitar like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I was a Ford pickup. Ford had made that pickup truck that had a generator built in, and it had to plug in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, what the? But like I said,
I mean, the Honda suitcase one will cost you a pretty penny, but you know what? It will run 24 hours a day,
right?
5 days straight. So don't.
And that Ford truck you're talking about, that's the Lightning. They're fire hazard.
I just say this: I feel sorry for the people in Tallahassee, Florida, and Valdosta, Georgia. They really got told by that.
Yep.
Polino.
Well, actually, the people in Western North Carolina really, really got it bad. There was 30 inches of rain in 48 hours in a small town in Western North Carolina.
Another satisfied customer.
We haven't had that much rain this year.
Yeah.
Because what did they say? Months that have the R in it, or the months with rain. Well, this September, I think we definitely made up for it with the amount of rain we got. And now, yesterday morning I got up, it was windy, and I was looking at the one pine tree, and I could see the tops swaying. I'm like, yeah, you stay right where you at.
The only months without R are May, June, July, and August. Right?
Yep.
I thought that was for oysters. Oh, wait a minute. I'm confused, right?
Yeah. Well, thank
days
God.
Days that ended in Y.
Thank God beer is for all 12 months. Cheers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically, all I got to do is take that Phillips screw out, run the jet in.
Turn it in so you know where it is.
Yeah, you got to count how many turns.
Doesn't matter on the generator.
Yeah. Unless
that opens your throttle plate. If you screw it in too much, it opens your throttle plate up.
Hey, look at that.
I
think Tom here. I think Tom is in. Is he still in Italy?
Tommy.
Buongiorno, come stai?
Yeah, I think he's still in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. He's on holiday.
Yeah. I'm gonna fire this thing up, and I'm gonna let y'all watch the thing on it.
I'll mute you for a second. Tell me.
I can't wait until
we got to hear what Preston Wayne has been doing.
What kind of thing we gonna listen to? Some hunting.
The hunting.
Yeah.
Some hunting thing.
But we got to move along to get the rest of the panel up for what they've been doing. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Did Bruce volunteer anything yet, or no?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Right. Go ahead, Robert. Let's hear the hunting real quick.
Shooting rabbits. Oh yeah.
It's got it bad.
Not good.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Oh yeah. Definitely clean that out, Robert. Definitely.
And Robert, you didn't buy that thing last week because it's pretty dirty in there.
Yeah.
So
he bought it in 2020.
I would actually drop the bowl too, or at least drain out you probably got a little water in there too,
Yeah.
Take that screw out of the bowl and let that drain.
And how old the gas that's in it?
I just put fresh gas in it the other day. The gas that was in it, was ethanol free, but it started turning yellow like when men first urinate in the morning.
Yeah, so you drained out all the old stuff, right?
Yeah.
Women do too.
I'm not sure I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to know either.
It's like eating a whole bunch of asparagus, right, Robert?
Robert, I'm going to hand it over to
the color about this. When it gets to this, it's too old.
Yeah.
All right,
but
Chris,
now
you're on.
Hey, so two things. Like Hank, I pulled the corn. Trudy pulled the zucchinis and the cucumbers. And
how tall did the corn get? How tall it was?
It was really short. We didn't have it. We had a dry spring.
Oh.
And now all we have out there is spaghetti squash and pumpkins. We're kind of waiting for a few more days. And then I fixed a Kohler 139cc self-propelled lawnmower. And boy, was I lucky to have just a cleaned carburetor in my stuff. I labeled it what it came off of, and I just popped it on there, and away it went. But I did mess up the automatic choke levers. You know how those things go like that? They go, kind of.
Well, how about now? Did yours have like the ones that I hate on those are the ones that have that blind rivet that falls out when you tip the carb upside down for the choke linkage?
Yes.
Oh, it's got like the L-shaped arm on it?
Yeah, it's got the L-shaped arm, but the thing is, if you hold it upside down and don't realize it, the rivet falls out, you lose it, and you're screwed. I ended up using a little Phillips wood screw to make it up because it just holds.
Is that on the wind vane or the carb itself?
It's what the actual L-shaped linkage, like a bell crank, and it rides inside of it to hold it there. So when the auto choke on the muffler pushes it, it forms that L and it pulls the butterfly shut. But that rivet is what rides in that L-shaped channel. And if you tip the carb over, the rivet is not held in. It's just gravity. It falls out.
I'm going to have another look at it because I have
That's
the old
on the
one
Kohler engines, right?
Yeah, just on the Kohlers. Yeah.
And boy, they're sure loud, eh?
Now, there are two bolts on this carburetor. There's this, which are apparently the sediments. Then there's a nut behind it to hold the bolt onto the carburetor. So which one?
You got a drain. No, they're right there. That what you got? That's the drain.
Yeah.
10 millimeter or 8 or 10, and then
that's the Stratton carburetor on there.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Wuhan. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can see.
So we got to move on in the.
So take that Phillips screwdriver out of there and extract the
that's all it is.
Plastic insert.
So what was going on with that, Brucey? Was it just not running or hunting, or what was it?
Well, the new carburetor worked really well, but I assembled it wrong with all of those levers, all those crazy levers. And once I got the lever through the slot and the thing down on the top and the bimetal strip lever in, it ran like a top, and I was just so happy because this guy gave me 3 lawnmowers, and each one of them had been rigged by Fiddle Fairy, and I got all 3 of them running.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was nice.
Yeah. Oh, and this generator also had that what they call the O2 sensor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to watch that. If it's inside. Here's the carburetor, Bruce. See that brass? Now.
No, that's not the carburetor. The one I have has got a spike coming off the choke.
That's the one I got on a Kohler XT775 that I'm working on.
But see, they replaced it with a brass screw. It used to be just a headed rivet that just fell in there. Now they got smart, put a screw in there.
Oh, no, that's not my carburetor.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I think the bottom of that rivet's got a little clip on the bottom of it. Or
not on the one I had. The one I had didn't fall through. It was a blind. Yeah, that's why I.
I'll go get it, and I'll be right back. Thanks, guys.
But what's going on, Wayne? What's going on with you?
I guess that's one of them Relco engines, is it?
I have. You know, it's funny. I had a Kohler service truck at our plant Friday or Thursday, and I said to him, "What Kohler Power truck that services? We've got probably 20 standby generators in our plant." And I asked him, I said, "What does this do to you guys?" He said, "Right now, nothing." He said, "The names aren't changing." He said, "The trademarks aren't changing. The only thing that changes is his paycheck has a different name on it. It doesn't say Kohler."
That's probably that's all that's going to happen because if they kill off that brand name, they're dumber than dirt.
And they're all happy they're still getting a paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
So now,
Wayne.
We've been working on a lot of generators and got lucky on 5 inverter generators. All I had to do was drain out all the fuel, suck it out of the fuel tank, open the drain valve and drain out the carburetor bowl, flush it with some of our fuel. So I put about 250 milliliters of our fuel in, run it through the carburetor, shut it off, try it, fires up. I let it run out of fuel. I dump a can of kinetics in it. I sell them the kinetics, runs like a charm, and out the door it goes.
Nice.
Now, last week we were talking about keyways. So we get a self-propelled lawnmower in, and the guy says to Jake that it's running a little rough. He says it likely needs a carb clean, but you know what? While you got it, do a full service on it. So I figured, well, you know, the guy says it runs rough, so I'm going to pull the recoil starter and fire this thing up. It's an auto choke, and it rips the recoil out of my hands. So now I go, and I hear a little clunk. So I go down below. Sure enough, the lawnmower blade's loose. I check the lawnmower blade. It's bent, so he hit something. I look at the blade adapter. It's got the what you call the bow tie on it. You know what I mean by the bow tie?
Studs are bent off.
It's somewhat damaged, but a new blade will fit on without any problems. But the two little tiny nubs that are on there, they're a little damaged. But you know what? Instead of putting the money into a new adapter, we're just going to put a new blade on there and we're going to try it. So I figured right away, the way that thing kicked back, definitely I had my first Woodruff sheared key because it's got a steel Woodruff key in it.
Yeah, not aluminum, right?
But guess what? Took the flywheel off. It's not. So the only thing it can be is the valves.
No, the loose blade. No, the loose blade.
The what? No. I tried it again, and with the new blade on and tightened, still ripped it right out of my hands.
Yeah, because if the valves are loose, the ACR is not working properly.
So now I go and I check the valve. I just heated up and I don't see a lot of people. You guys use a heat gun to heat up the overhead valve cover if it's not gasket. Yeah, you heat it up with a heat gun to soften it up a little bit so you don't damage the overhead valve cover. Mm-hmm. Pull that, and it's supposed to be 4 thou, 3 to 5 on the intake and the exhaust.
Ooh, nice.
And when I take it off, the intake is like around 2, and the exhaust is like 12.
There it is. It's not hitting the ACR.
There's the problem.
So now I got them set just before I came on the live stream. I got them set to 4 thou, and I got to now I got to clean up the overhead valve gasket, get new RTV silicone on it. But I think before I do that, I'll just screw it back on, torque it down, and fire it up to make sure it runs good before I do that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that put that up right then and there. Oops. Sorry about that.
That's okay, Stella.
Tom just sent me a link. He says, can you share this with the group? He said he's going to go to that museum tomorrow, which looks kind of fun.
Yeah, it does.
Looks like Ducati heaven.
Yeah, it's the Laverda Motorcycle Museum actually in Italy where they made them. There's all these museums all over Europe, but this is the one in Italy, so that looks like a lot of fun.
Yep.
Okay, I'm jumping back in.
All righty.
Here's the one. It has this is the choke end. Whoops, this is the choke end here. It's got a long spike on it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But look at this.
Yeah, but that's almost looks like the Honda type where the flap hits it.
So the flap hits that choke, right? That's
yummy.
That's savable, Bruce.
It is, yeah. I just swapped it out with one because I had one.
That was on a Kohler?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It's got the big 1/4-inch input, right?
It's one of those Chinese Kohlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like the Bricks EX series. They're Chinese too. So
yeah.
I just saved the carburetor that was so gummed up. I still don't know what went on. The fuel in the gas tank was bright yellow, but the fuel that was in the carb bowl was blue. And totally gummed up. The needle valve was stuck on the inside of the seat. I mean, just horrendous. I couldn't get the main jet out or the emulsion tube out, so I ran it in the ultrasonic cleaner for 30 minutes at 70 degrees Celsius, and took it out and was able. 70 hot, baby. I want to melt that gum.
That's hot.
Anyways, took it out and blew it out, and I was able to get the main jet and then get the emulsion tube out. Scrubbed it all down to get any of the. There was I don't know what to say. it's not rust, but it was like a light brown tan colored powder all over the stand. Scrub that all down, put it back in for another 30 minutes, put it back together after blowing it out, and ran like a clock.
I'm amazed how much rust and corrosion in the bowl that the ultrasonic can take off.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually cleaning carburetors less often than I used to.
A lot of that depends on the solution that you're using as well. Some of that's really good at cutting that stuff down. Oops.
Yeah, I'm using orange Zep orange.
Yeah.
I still got a big jug of mean green or something that doesn't have the ammonia in it. And it works really well.
Yeah, you want to stay away from ammonia.
Listen to this, you guys.
The ammonia's not that bad. It just discolors everything. It just looks bad, but there's nothing really wrong with it. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No.
The jet or the seat and is still working on this one. That's hard to believe, eh?
Yeah.
But I don't think
the gunk never reached the needle. It all stayed in the bowl. Yeah.
The emulsion tube is plugged though.
Yeah, but that's you can see how far up it went on the.
Yeah. Must have sat for a long time.
Anybody watch the recent mowers and blowers video where he was working on the marching bands riding tractor for the third time?
Nope.
Anybody see it?
Which mowers and blowers? The Henry?
Not Pish, not
Henry.
The other one.
Island. Yeah.
Henry in Long Island. Well, anyways, he didn't even mention. I got a comment to him like, I would like to know where he's getting these shut-off valves and fuel filters from. But he had cleaned everything, and then the people come to pick it up, and there's a red plasticky powder on the inside of the carb, and it got into the seat, and the needle wasn't seating, and it was flooding it out. So he cleaned it. He says, I'm going to put all new fuel lines on. And then in the video, he says that was the third shutoff valve and I think the third or fourth fuel filter. But he didn't say where he got them from. You guys know where they came from, eh?
Oh, yeah. Well,
they were leaking. They weren't shutting off. Like, this is what happens when you use non-OEM parts. Like, they just don't work. Like, fuel filters leak.
And I got a bag of 10 of those. I got a bag of 9 of those.
And do they all seal? Did you test them?
No, I don't even worry about them anymore. They're just going to get worse.
Yeah.
Now, that what I was talking about, the fuel that was in the gas tank.
Don't look good, Robert.
Nope. That thing had over the tank holds, I think, 2.5 gallons of gas, but that was just part of what I had to pump out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I put I don't know. People probably gonna say it's snake oil, but I put some of this in it, trying to get it to run right.
Come out, tune up in a can.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna clean that pilot valve.
No.
Nope.
Then I sprayed some of this stuff in it.
Not gonna help.
Right. No.
Yeah.
That's good for moist environments, but
now the one thing you can do, if you can, it might pull it through if you go and you start that generator. And I've pulled a piece of crud through jets by putting it on choke, shutting it off, putting it on choke 5 or 6 times, and then all of a sudden it smooths out because it's put that little piece through.
And it works,
provided it's not all gummed up in there. If it's a piece of debris that's stuck in there, just hang it in there because you are running. So it means it's partially plugged.
Yeah. Because I forgot what I paid for that generator when I bought it back in 2020. I bought it at Lowe's.
Clean the carburetor and turn the thing upside down and drain the gas out of it. Get every little bit of crud. Put a rag down there and wipe the bottom of the tank. Do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
It's got crud.
So that gas that was in there was from 2020?
Nah, I forgot when it probably was. The generator very rarely got, we only used it when we had a power outage. We run like the house where I was staying, we try to run a fan or something like that, try to keep the trailer cool. But now I know, don't let your fuel sit like that.
We've all
Yeah.
Nice.
Or
That's
put
really
alkylate
good.
fuel in it, and you'll never have a problem, and you'll never have to work on that thing again.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd like to find some alkylate
Jake?
fuel.
Jake just ordered a 20-liter pail of it it lists for $150. He ordered a 100-liter or a 20-liter pail to put in his Mustang when he stores it.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs it, but
I bought it from a guy off of eBay. I bought Aspen. Hank, what did we buy? 20 quarts, I think it was. No, 3 gallons. So
3 gallons. Yeah.
12 quarts, and it was like $60 or something. It was pretty cheap. It was it was $6 a quart shipped. So that wasn't too bad.
That's cheaper than Denmark buys them at the pump.
that's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said that generator, like I said, like people don't use the generators that much. It's like, what you got.
That's right. A generator.
Robert, that's what keeps us in business.
A generator is something that you store bad gas in.
Because the other thing is, they said on the gas tank, use E10 ethanol. Don't use E15. I'm like, ethanol.
If you read the little book, it'll also say drain all fuel after use.
Yep.
Well,
So, yeah.
Hey, Robert, real quick. What's your zip code down there, Robert? I'm gonna look for an Aspen dealer.
31024.
Let me see if there's an Aspen dealer close to you.
There's no one.
Now,
Okay.
still, they sell a do they still sell a 4-stroke alkylate?
Oh yeah. It's called Moto Plus.
Yeah. So if there's a still dealership around there, you can get a can of the 4-stroke.
Oh, yeah. We do have a steel dealership.
Because there's only 3 I know of, and it's Kinetic, Still, and Aspen.
Golf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gulf Pro has one, but only available in Canada still, I think.
Yeah. So I said, that generator only gets used when we have a power outage, and that's very rare. But I said I had to get it ready just in case the power went out. But the way that Helene did, all we got was a bunch of rain.
You're lucky.
Yeah, so I said there was something like Tallahassee, Florida, and Valdosta, Georgia. It's like,
I got a spike in views this week for my generator videos.
Oh yeah, that's
That time of year.
Yeah. Winter's coming, so everybody's trying to start their generators, and guess what? They ain't starting.
And you know what? It's the smart people that are trying them now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Same thing with the snowball
increase too.
The rush is coming with the first snowfall. The first snowfall, Jake will likely get 20 phone calls.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of snowblowers, I was at my local restore, Habitat for Humanity restore, and they had obviously cleared out like a Home Depot or something, because a lot of their gear had all these Home Depot tags on them, because that's the lettering that they use, so you can show what that is. But they had a snowblower there, a Toro 60 volt. I mean, crazy.
Oh yeah.
Snowblower there, and it was like $600, and I'm like,
the battery's $300.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't even see if there were batteries in it, but I was like kind of amazed. I guess they got it from some store out of the region or something. I mean, we don't need snowblowers where I'm from.
Not yet.
Well, we got to get through this phase of the warming part before we get to the freezing part. I guess that'll be in the next 500,000 years.
No, supposedly the big freeze is coming this year, because what do you got this year? A La Nina?
Yeah, La Nina instead of El Nino.
La Nina coming in this year. Before it was El Nino, now it's La Nina. And La Nina gonna freeze you out. The world temperature gonna drop. We're going into an ice age. Uh-oh, Stella's frozen. That hit her so hard she froze up.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what's happening with the weather. Like last year, we were supposed to get major snow in southern Ontario. We got 2 snowstorms. That was it.
Yep.
And we were supposed to have snow like crazy. Now this year, they're saying exactly the same thing, but now this new event is happening that's bringing the cold air down from the Arctic, and we're supposed to get major snowfall this year.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Whatever
did y'all
comes.
watch? Yeah. Did y'all watch me with small engines last video about that one chainsaw?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
The
don't
mill.
think
The mill.
it was.
that's
Brand
the way
new
they're
chain.
making stuff nowadays.
Yep. But somebody made a video where you can look at your steel equipment and tell by a certain number, a certain letter to see where it was made. So now they're talking about they being made in Brazil and stuff like that. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Well, I got to find out if instead of using engineers, these lawnmower companies are using AI to design stuff, because totally ridiculous that 3/32 of plastic is going to hold together on the front end of a snowblower or of a lawnmower.
Well, that's the Power
Not
Smart.
Power Smart. 3/32 of an inch of plastic holding those pieces together.
Can I get a card for that now, Wayne?
What's that?
Can I get a card for that thing now?
Can I get a carb for it?
No, yeah, like
The
I've cleaned
carbs-
that carburetor 10 times, and
I think the carbs on those, I use MTD bowl gaskets and needle vat. Like I just use MTD parts on it.
oh, okay, I'll try that.
Like I just did a Kohler the other day, and I tried to pull up what bowl gasket it needed. I just went into my box and pulled out a Briggs & Stratton one that was the same diameter, looked roughly the same thickness, slapped it on there. It don't leak.
The only Briggs & Stratton I had for this one was, although this is the Kohler, was too narrow. I couldn't even stretch it.
Yeah, like I like Bruce. I likely got 10 different bowl gaskets for Briggs & Strattons here.
Right. I just ordered the one for the Quantums.
Yeah.
I have seen so many Quantums this year.
Yeah.
They're just getting old enough now that people are getting fed up with them, right? Because they've quit running.
Yeah.
And they're going to battery operated equipment.
They quit running because they don't take care of them.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
You take care of it and it runs forever. Look at that 1963 Honda Eclipse I got with a 3.75 Briggs on it. Still running. First full start every time. Yeah. It's a classic.
Right. I've got a side mounted classic on one of those home lights with an aluminum deck. Like, I'm not getting rid of that. It's got an aluminum deck.
Yeah.
And I can just pop a classic on there.
I just finished a series of Saved from the Scrapyard. I had 3 mowers. One was too far gone. The other 2, one was a Briggs Quantum Ready Start. I mean, carb was so gummed up, it was not even funny. The fuel hose has deteriorated so badly inside from the old fuel that fuel couldn't pass through it. Dump it in the ultrasonic, slap the bag on with a new O-ring for the intake manifold. First pull, runs like a charm.
Yeah.
I mean, only who's got music in the background?
That's not me, Klaus.
No, but it was just very disruptive.
It sounded like a ringtone.
It sounded like Chinese music.
Oh, no problem.
Easy.
So no, yeah, I mean, Briggs Quantums, you keep a little bit of oil in them and they will run forever. You know?
And always check the head bolts.
Yeah. I said to my wife, I said, this spring, I said, I got to get a couple of Quantums here just for me. And I've had 6 come through in the last month. Like, yeah.
I used my last Quantum here last week.
Yeah. They are nice engines. And I will say that in respect of Briggs, their Ready Start system,
it's actually not, that's the one with the bimetal choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that thing isn't, and they don't break that often. They do break, but not that often. And man, they one pull wonder. It goes.
Yeah. Well, they use the wind vane and the bimetal choke in combination with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works well.
Yeah, the wind vane to control the RPM and the thing to control the choke. It works great. It's a nice setup.
And you wonder why.
And then they had to go kill it off.
Yeah, and then you wonder why they didn't continue. Somebody else take that design and start using it again.
Yeah, and then Briggs came up with the 550E, which is just because job security for us.
Yeah, it's emissions.
Well, those air engines, the only problem we've had with the 500 and 550Es is the jets are so small. Anything that gets in that gas tank is plugging it up and stopping it.
And they're running so hot to begin with.
Yeah.
That the slightest clog up of cooling fins.
And out here it's so dusty. You guys can just imagine, like there's 2,000 miles of prairie before you guys get here.
Yeah, and around here, people don't, a simple thing like changing an air filter. Like they don't even think of changing the air filter. It's like a chainsaw that somebody's had for 10 years and never had a filter changed on the chainsaw. And they wonder why their carb's plugged up with what? Oh, it's wood chips, like it's dust.
Yeah.
Wood
dust.
Dust.
Well, I'll tell you though, I mean, not to defend anyone, but I've run into people that are like, you mean there's an air filter on there? I mean, I guess they never think about it because it's a small engine. You know, I mean, they know about the air filter in their car and everything, but it just never, the dots don't quite connect,
But you gotta remember that when people go out and buy, imagine somebody going out and buying their first lawnmower. Like we've had people come here and buy a snowblower, for example, off us. Haven't got a clue, not a clue about what this snowblower does, how it runs, how to safely operate it, how to start it, how to shut it off. Like they just don't know. So they go to a store, they buy their first lawnmower, and it comes in a box. They put it together. Now it should have oil in it, but guess what? Some of them don't have oil in the box. People naturally, close. How many times have you said it? They do not read the instructions.
Nope.
And they go and they put gas in it. They fire it up, and it's a seized lawnmower. Right? It's seized.
I mean, I had a guy it's 2 years ago. He called me up and said, "Can you get me a brand new mower? We just bought a brand new house, a couple of blocks up, and we want a good lawnmower. So I'll fix you up." So I ordered a lawnmower. Guy comes, brings his wife to pick it up.
Good.
I already, assembled it and put oil in it, all gas and all that. And you'd think the wife said this, but she didn't. Hey, I like the color. It's like, yeah, it's a nice shade of red. It's good. Can I get paid now?
Hey, Klaus.
Yes.
Aren't like 90% of them now red?
Yeah.
Are they?
Not out here.
Out here, a lot of them is black.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they got that yard machine crud green.
Oh yeah. Now, a lot of them, a lot of them are red, but a lot of the Chinese imports here, they do come in shiny black.
Yeah, it's easier to sell a shiny red one.
Yeah,
I seen one. I didn't actually have my hands on it, but I seen a Cenix, and I guess that deck looks like it's like turquoise.
Yeah,
blue.
Yeah. Canadian Tire sells those here. They're Yardworks, and they're that teal blue.
Almost the same color as the drill.
The selling point of some of the Chinese here is that they have cup holders, 2 of them. That's the guys. It's got cup holders. Said nice. Have you tried putting a beer in it while you mow? And says no. Says don't. All you have is a lot of foam and no beer.
Look at this.
Well, I think they're made for water.
Well, they're beer can size.
Yeah.
So it must be for beer. I cannot even
Denmark
why
for beer. In Canada, it's for water.
Why it would be water? I cannot.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out one day.
You guys see that?
Me neither, Klaus.
That's it, Bruce.
That's it. Yeah.
You got to order your parts from McCann Air in Quebec, the province of Quebec. They charge. We just ordered a pulley. If that's a self-propelled, the pulley on the transmission is plastic. We just got one in.
No,
and the plastic pulley is total. The top part got melted off.
You know what happened to this one?
But that's an EX. That's an EX engine.
That's a push one, right?
The 2 brackets worked their way in, and the choke was rubbing on the steel on the left side.
Yeah.
That there that I just showed you guys, that's what I took out of my generator.
Yeah.
But
So, no, it's
fortunate for me, fortunate for me, the carburetor was drained.
Yeah, but I will say, you actually popped a good question, Wayne, when you said why didn't anyone copy the Quantum?
Yeah.
I think that first of all, the Quantum doesn't come with a horizontal shaft. Really, it does have a side.
Yeah.
They do have a side up, but
yeah, I got you. No,
yeah.
I don't think there was a Quantum with a horizontal. They're all vertical.
No. Yeah, and second, pollution.
6-to-1 compression ratio or less.
Yeah, they are dirty running. They really are. And to be honest, a 190cc engine with only 5 horsepowers at 2,800 RPM, that's not really a lot, is it?
Dude, I get 6.5 horse out of that. Well, it's a horizontal. I got a GX 200 on a pressure washer behind me, which is technically 196 cc's, and I get 6.5 out of that.
7.9 foot-pounds torque.
Yeah, so some of the Chinese actually get 7 horses out of a 205cc engine. Oh, that's Mr. Snack Noise right there.
Henry, how's the hands?
Better.
Good enough for snacks, I guess.
Better.
Well, if he holds his hand up and goes, "Yeah, they're good."
Yeah.
They're all Cheeto yellow. Yeah, they're good.
No, that's Keebler Fudge Elves.
Ooh, nice.
Chocolate. Mm-hmm.
Chocolate, yep.
Okay, now you sound like Homer Simpson. Chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Donut.
Oh yeah. Donut. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Believe it or not, a couple of years ago, I saw that in the store. They were actually selling Duff beer.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they slapped a Duff sticker on some beer bottles with beer in them. I don't know why I didn't buy it, but
I had a beer. We went out for supper for Trudy's birthday on Wednesday. It's a big week, and I had a lawnmower lager.
Oh, righty.
Yeah. I had to, Trudy says it might not be very good. I said I don't care. I have to have one.
Yeah. That's one for me.
Lager?
It was too weak. It was like 4.5%, and it was just like water.
4.5.
No.
That must be an EX engine then.
You know what that was made from, don't you, Bruce? That was old gas that had a lot of ethanol in it.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah.
Alcohol is alcohol.
No.
I got a lawnmower lager.
So
No.
So we just got a lawnmower in this morning. The guy said it's his sister's lawnmower. Do you think you could have it ready for me for tomorrow morning? She's heading up north. She wants to take the lawnmower up north. I said, you bring it this morning. I'll have it done for you in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Wow.
He says, well, it's in parts. I said, what do you mean it's in parts? Well, I had somebody work on it, and we cleaned the carburetor, and it still won't run. So can you fix it? I said, and I know this guy from the forging business like 12 years ago. So I said, bring it here. 9 o'clock, he showed up. I looked at it, and I said, well, number one, there's a governor spring missing. Number two, the other spring is totally stretched out and shot. The guy has it routed completely wrong. And I said, how's the rest of the mower? So anyways, once I did the carburetor, I put new diaphragm and gasket on it, and the thing fired up. Little higher on the RPM. I set the RPM down to 3,100. I think I got it at. Anyways, the thing's vibrating like crazy. I called the guy up. I said, you know what? Somebody must have hit something. He says, take a look at the blade. So I take it back in the shop, lift it up, tilt it up, take the blade off. Yep, the blade's pretty well balanced and it's sharpened, but somebody's taken oxyacetylene torch to it and heated the blade. Now, the blade is still bent 1/4 of an inch, but they tried to straighten the blade. So the crankshaft is definitely bent. So he gets the machine back in running operation without the blade on it because I'm not putting that blade back on. He can put it on if he wants. But the replacement blade for that, it's a Murray, is $43.
Yeah, Murray make a good blade though.
Yeah, but it's 43. What is it? It's including tax. It's 43.22. And if I got to order it, there's another $15 on top for shipping plus tax
for a push mower.
For a push mower blade, because I got to have an order of $350 to get that blade. And Sten's doesn't make an aftermarket blade, and you can't buy one on Amazon. It has to be that blade.
You should have something in the horde.
So anyways, I said, you put it on and it's going to vibrate. It's not vibrating that it'll walk sideways, but there's vibration in it that you could feel. So
push more.
I said, crankshaft is bent. If somebody heated that blade up, how bent was it? It was likely bent 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised the keyway never sheared on it, which is the next thing that I got to tell them is you might put that on, go and fire it up and find out that it's going to kick back on you. That means the keyway finally let go. It could be like, you know what I mean? It could be partially sheared, but not all the way because it's still firing up first pull.
What kind of engine is it?
It's got a classic engine on it.
Oh.
The Briggs Classic.
Yeah, those keyways.
So it's got the aluminum key in it.
Yeah.
Guys, how many of you have had a Chinese engine in with a sheared flywheel key?
Never.
Me neither. They all come in with a bent crank.
Honestly, an inch and an eighth crankshaft, right? Roughly.
No, about 7/8.
7/8.
See,
that's our standard around here is 7/8. Then you go up to 25 millimeters, which is 9.4 or something.
No,
and then the Kohler I just took off is an inch and an eighth crankshaft.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah.
But normally here they are either 22.2 millimeters or 25 millimeters.
Yeah.
Which is either 7/8 or 1 inch.
Right.
But you can get screwed up with the Honda 1 inch or the Honda 2.5 to the 2.54.
Yeah. But I have in my shop and do remember, guys, I'm not a pro shop, so I don't see a lot of equipment just like Wayne does. But I have never seen a Chinese clone engine with a sheared flywheel key ever.
Yeah, but maybe they just didn't hit anything close.
No.
But some of them comes in with a bent crankshaft.
No, some of them come in. They have steel ones.
Yeah.
If they've got Woodruff keys in them, like I said, I've never seen one with a Woodruff key sheared yet.
Never.
Yeah.
No. Never.
I think they're steel because it's 0.002 cents cheaper than an aluminum one.
Yeah. And I think, and even we got a brand over here called Alco. It's German. And they make a decent mower. I mean, it's not high end, but for the price, good mower. They switched from Briggs engines over to their own brand, which is Longsit Wuhan Chinese engine, and they never break the flywheel key. They always bend the crankshaft first.
Yeah,
which is to me is like an oxymoron because you're supposed to have that keyway in there to protect your engine, right?
Yeah, well, now think about that Husqvarna I got. 1 year old Husqvarna, 7/8 inch shaft, but because they've got a pulley that locks into a key slot, and then you got a set screw, and then your blade adapter is a short little blade adapter, and they hit a solid water main with it, bent the blade 90 degrees, almost broke the crankshaft off just above where the blade adapter ended, right?
Yeah.
If they would have had the full blade adapter with the pulley attached, like, I don't know, I think Toros have them. Yeah. It's a one-piece blade adapter and pulley that slides all the way up. It would have gave more support to that crankshaft where it might have sheared the key and the pulley and the blade adapter, or if it would have bent the crankshaft, it would have just bent it, but never broke it. It would have never broke it. And when I took that engine apart, that Woodruff key that's in there, like brand new, like, and even the keyway slot in the crankshaft, not damaged. All the damage, and I mean that's the most destructive crankshaft I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What's this?
What are you doing, Kenny? Arrogant bastard.
Yeah, weird names of beer.
No, but I mean anything to sell a pint. I saw here the lawnmower yard lager. That's a pretty weak beer there. You got to have a few to get a buzz out of those.
UFC fights are on right now. I'm going to be leaving shortly. The prelims are on.
All right.
Okay.
And will Jones fight Miocic? Yeah, I think he will, but he'll never fight Tom Aspinall. He doesn't want to fight because that'll be his first loss. John, if you're out there, you're going to lose to Tom Aspinall. Just letting you know.
Like that old joke, right? I went.
The Chinese engines of the bent shaft. I had a Pulsar come in the end of last week. The guy replaced the blade, and he said it didn't cut right since. Then he said he went to start it, it wouldn't start. Well, I got underneath it. They tried using a Toro blade on that funky Pulsar proprietary adapter. Took that off, checked it for a bent shaft. That thing wobbled like nobody's business.
Well, if the shaft moves 1/8 of an inch, the end of the blade's going to go an inch.
Yeah, well, this was been out about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch.
The best one we ever got in was somebody said, something's wrong with my lawnmower. Well, what's wrong with it? Well, it's tearing up my lawn. Did you hit anything? No, not that we know of. The blade was bent 90 degrees. So the blade was actually cutting a circle into their lawn. You know what I'm saying? It was below the bottom of the deck. And so when we called them up, we said, somebody hit something. Well, I loaned it to my son. Well, you better get a hold of your son to pay the bill because you need a new blade.
There you go.
That's the certified blade adapters.
That's an ugly adapter.
Yeah, that's for the certifieds that they sell here in Canada.
Yeah, with the D-shaped holes in it. Yeah, those.
Yeah, and
it's got the half moon on the one, a full circle on the other one. Yeah, that's the certifieds.
Yeah,
same thing. If I need parts, I can get a blade from Canadian Tire, but if I need an adapter, I got to order it from Can-Air in Quebec. So I keep parts. So I got adapters off of scrapped engines. And that way, if I need a part, guess what? They got to pay shipping for that part. If it looks like brand new, they're paying the shipping cost. Because for me to replace it, I got to order it and pay shipping.
Hey, Wayne, do you want me to send you that power thing rewind with the 5 3/4 inch gap in the holes?
You know what? Nah, that's okay. I don't think it's going to, like I can order one and it's going to be like about $60, but it might not fit and work.
Yeah. It might cost me $60 to ship it.
Yeah, we've gone through Generator Guru and they don't make them. And everybody that I've contacted said we got to find the retailer that sells Power G parts. Well, I can't find one. So the guy's got a choice.
A Power Smart mower is going to pop in and land on your deck.
Yeah, the Power Smart mower, I got to get a hold of them and see if they'll send me the front part for that mower because I hate like hell scrapping a mower for just that plastic piece.
Chunk of plastic, yeah.
But I don't want to order it and pay shipping and duty and.
So the front of the mower is the Power Smart, and then you need a
Power G generator. GT 1200C generator. That's for the
G. Sorry, I got to talk. The Power G rewind is a power lawnmower.
Oh, okay. The engine. Yeah.
The rewind. Yeah.
But now I've gone on and I found, yes, this recoil is for a GT 1200C generator. And you finally get sourced out and you check it and it's got a 6-inch bolt center. And this one's 5 3/4, just under 5 3/4. So it's not going to work. But if the guy wants to buy our Furman generator, I sell him the Furman generator and I keep that little one of his and I sell it for $50 or $100, but you got to start it with a drill.
Right.
But it fires right up.
Yep.
Ken, that adapter you showed a few minutes ago, that was a Pulsar one, right?
Yeah, that's what it said.
It's
Robert, if you're still listening, that's the Aspen dealer in Georgia. I don't know where they are to you, but that's the Aspen dealer in Georgia. It showed it as that, yeah.
Just go to Highway 400 and keep going. You'll find it.
Okay, guys, I'm going to head out and finish that valve job and see if this thing will run while the UFC's doing prelims.
All right.
Take care, Wayne.
Take care.
Take care. Say hi to Jake, will you?
Will do. Yeah, he's out with his girlfriend. They're up in Niagara Falls shopping.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean,
and then tomorrow morning,
what about us?
And then tomorrow morning, he's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to a car show in Welland.
Well, that's actually a good activity, but the girlfriend and the other stuff.
Sorry, the wife is yelling at me. He's getting up at 4 a.m. so they can leave at 6 a.m.
Oh man, he's got it bad.
Guess what? I'm sleeping in.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I'm sleeping in. Yeah. Oh, okay, take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Take care, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne. Yeah. Wow. 4 o'clock.
Oh, I'm up at that every day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but do you go to car shows?
Car shows?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you should go to car. If you get up that early, you should go to car shows.
See, Jake's young enough. He's probably hasn't gone to bed by 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
I called the guy up on that. He said, just keep the mower. So I took the engine off of that. It was a 200cc engine. And I had another one that needed a carburetor that wasn't bent, but it was the wrong shaft length. What I need for this is a 7/8 shaft, because the drive pulley and the adapter are actually two separate things.
Right.
But I took the carburetor and stuff off of the bent engine because I know that was good, and put it on that other engine. And if I get a deck now that needs a 2.5-inch shaft, I'll use it.
Frankenmower.
Yeah, it'll be a Frankenmower. I wanted to use that one with a 2.5-inch shaft, but I needed the upper Woodruff keyway, and it only had a small one at the business end of it. I needed one further up the shaft. So that's why I'm waiting to see if I can, at some point, get a hold of a 550EX or whatever that has a 7/8 shaft that has the two Woodruff keys in. I'll just repower that Pulsar, and I'll use a MTD adapter and an MTD blade. Problem solved.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That way, in the event they need to get a blade, it'll be a lot easier to get a hold of one.
Yeah, I don't have a problem switching up the MTD products for blades because they're cheaper.
They're cheaper, and there's a lot more of them.
Oh, nice. Gosh, Hank, nice shirt. I didn't pick up on it until now. Juan Deere.
My buddy from Canada got me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw it now. Isn't that something?
Really?
Yeah. You've been a bit blurry, but you're getting clearer all the time now.
I don't know what's wrong. Wayne was saying that I was, he couldn't even see me when he first started. Now everybody's saying that my thing's fuzzy, but you know what? I'm cleaning it off here, and
it is a bit of a delay.
No, it's an internet thing. You're like frozen right now.
Really?
Oh, no, not on mine.
Yeah.
No, your voice delay is about a second.
You're fuzzy though. You're definitely fuzzy.
Yeah.
I'm fuzzy. Let me come back on. I'll go off and on.
Just reset your Wi-Fi on your phone or whatever you're on. That's what I froze up earlier, and I had to reboot the entire computer. So I don't know what happened.
Okay, let me go off and come back, and we'll see what happens.
How you been doing, Stella?
I've been doing all right. Kind of crazy, but I'm getting through. I'm still painting the house.
Coming out good.
The job that never ends.
I ain't got to worry about that anymore. I got vinyl on the house now.
Well,
vinyl's fun.
I learned from my dad, why pay somebody to do something you can do yourself? And I'm like, I'm getting to the point, I just rather pay somebody to do this.
Well, I'm at the age now, Stella, where I am actually hiring stuff out, and it's really, really hard to do.
and I really need to rethink my life choices. I think right now.
Yeah.
How's Carmen?
Happy as a clam.
Good to hear. Charlie's doing good still.
I think she's okay that I'm mostly at home. When I was working a lot, I think she was lonely, but now that I'm here all the time, I think she's just fine.
She got her companion now.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. Well, whenever I go in the house, as soon as Charlie hears the door, he's out there to greet me.
Oh yeah.
Since Minnie's not there anymore, you know.
Any trips planned, Stella? Any road trips?
Maybe we'll see what happens. I went out on an adventure last weekend with her, and she did great. We got all the way home, like 2 minutes from my house. The road is like this. It's like a roller coaster. And I'm like about 2 minutes from my house, and she yowls and goes and gets to the lowest part she can get to. And then I have this like aroma in the air that I can't quite connect the dots on. And bless her heart, she barfed her cookies. I felt so sorry for her. So we will avoid that road going in and out of town for now. So anyway.
She still sticks her head under the gas pedal?
No, not anymore. No. She's kind of over that. But like I said, she is a forest floor dweller. She is not a canopy dweller. She likes to get low and stay low and, stay away from everything. That's okay. I'm good with that.
I need to jump in on these O-rings we were talking about before. Can I bring this back up?
Yeah.
Is this the one that works?
Yep.
Right
that's
there?
That's the one she made me buy.
Yeah.
Is it called? Is there 100? Is there 1,000? And no, the one I have is 1010.
Really?
Well, here's the deal. It is the sizes that I needed were 2.5 and 3.1. That's what I needed to do accelerator pumps on like carburetors and chainsaws and whatnot. These are the two that I needed. Okay. But I haven't seen the 1,000 kit, so I don't know. As long as it's got that, you might be all right.
Yeah, it's got the 3x1. Isn't that the one for the Honda primer plastic insert?
That I don't know.
Oh, that's why I bought them.
Well, I just got this because of the variety that it had there. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the 1,000 kit has what you need or not.
Yeah, right. Yours has goes down one more size, I think.
Well, it's got 1x2, 2.5 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 4.5 by 1, and then it's bigger than I need. So
the smallest I've got is 3 by 1.
Okay. Yeah, I guess this kit just has two more smaller ones than that.
Right. That makes the extra 10 pieces, eh?
Well, there's 110 of each of those, so I'm not sure how that math works. But yeah, right. There's a boatload of them, and fixed 2 carburetors, the entire kit is paid for.
Oh, 1 carburetor if it's Sunday afternoon.
That's true. That's true.
Any better?
Yes. Juan Deere.
There, we can see it now.
Juan.
He's not doing this frame by frame thing now.
All right. I don't know what was wrong.
You look younger.
You're a big charmer there, Bruce.
And you've lost weight, Klaus.
Morton, ask the question. Morton, ask your question in the chat.
Oh no, is Morton here?
No, this is a different Morton.
Really?
Oh, that's a different Morton. Oh, right.
There's only one.
Out there's 2 of them. Holy moly!
Well, that could be a couple of different things, but the first thing I would suggest, Morton, is to make sure your carburetor is sparkling clean, including the idle circuit. And we were just talking about that earlier. with Robert had one. Some of them have like a plastic idle jet, which is removable, and others have a fixed idle jet, which you can't take out. You just have to make sure that's clean. And I use ultrasonic cleaner. Some people use carb cleaner, whatever. You just got to make sure every single passage is completely sparkling clean. And then if you are still having surging, then you need to move on to other things like air leaks or something like that.
Do you guys want to hear that explanation slightly in a different language?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hold on. Be ready to cover your ears. It might get ugly. Are you ready?
Tell him.
Morten, den der oscillerende motorgang, du har på din karburator, det er på grund af en tomgangsblokade, du har i karburatoren. Der sidder sådan en lille sort plastik dyse oppe i toppen. Den sidder lige under tomgangsjusteringen. Den skal du have ud, og så skal du have den renset lige så forsigtigt med gerne et strå fra en stålbørst. Have den pustet godt ud. Lad være at bruge karburatorrens på det. Det bremserens skal gøre det. I med den igen, og så går det problem væk. Yeah, you guys still here?
You'll be all set.
That's easy for you to say.
There you go.
Easy for you to say.
That's you. There you go, Hank.
So, Morten, I hope that answers your question. Yes?
Yeah, you got it twice now, Morten. If that didn't help, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're doomed, man.
Yeah. And the Q&A thing, Morten, by the way, on this stream or this channel, is that the first hour is dedicated for small engine stuff. The second hour, we'll just sit here and have fun.
Yeah.
It's a free-for-all, but we'll answer any questions that you want anytime.
Yeah, and you can't be naked.
Yep.
Right?
Because
that was it, right? We can't be naked, right? Right. Just checking. Yeah.
I was learning that thing Stella was talking about, the plastic idle jet. I learned how to clean that because of James.
Right.
Running the little bristle of a wire wheel through that, because my torch tip cleaners are still too big.
Condon.
Right.
Is that a new channel?
You know, Brad?
James Condom or Condom.
Okay, I got this from Donnie Boy. I got this one from Donnie Boy. You know that little wire you took off your wire wheel? Stick it in the end of a wooden match, and then you've got that a little bit bigger piece to hold on to.
Yeah.
I always take a little piece of that, and
sorry,
if
no.
I didn't have a wooden match handy, I just take my needle nose vice.
What Stella said.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing about when they're in a match is that they're easier to find when they're in your little bolt drawer.
Yeah.
You're right.
But here a couple weeks back, I salvaged a carburetor from a GX 200. It was on that gold dredge, and I took that carburetor. It was pretty nasty. So the guy wanted it back, so I ordered him a carburetor and got it on there, got it running good. And I told the boss, I said, let me take this original carb home, and I'm going to run it through the hot bath and see what that did, and that cleaned up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Run it in the ultrasonic, and I did that thing with the little bristle with the wire brush.
Mm-hmm.
Got it all done. I got that thing done. The carburetor looks like I just ordered it from Honda.
Nice.
So now if I ever get one of them motors in and they need a carburetor, boom, quick swap, done. But, you know, I'm liking my ultrasonic for carburetors now that I've used it several times. Now that I know what I'm doing.
Sometimes I'll just, if it's just a quick.
That's good.
Well, you got to remember, Stella, I never had one until I bought that one I showed you guys. I'd never ever used one of them until then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good tool.
Oh, yeah.
I cleaned my jewelry from my Mexican trip with my, what do they call it? My, I know.
Oh man. Yeah. That's the loot from Mexico.
My
I
metal
thought
detector.
you took Trudy.
Well, yeah, she doesn't like bling like that. And there's my necklace.
In Bruce's household, Trudy is not the only one having jewelry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is nice, Bruce. Bruce, did you ever get it appraised?
Yeah. Because it's a high end store selling an item that really hasn't got a lot of silver in it. It's probably worth about $50.
Hey, $50 here, $50 there.
That's right. But it's $800 if you want to buy one online.
Oh yeah.
But it's a real one.
So you put it on Marketplace for $400 and you have a go at it. Yep.
Well,
that's the way to do it.
But it came out of the ultrasonic cleaner nice. I had to do it twice.
I'll tell you what I did find out, though. Ultrasonic cleaner does real good for saw chains.
Oh.
Yeah, but it does real bad for the solution. And I use an expensive.
Lots of
but you're right. If you got that caked in oil or you got a little rust in it, it does wonders. It really does. You're right.
Oh, yeah. I put them in that thing before they go on my sharpener because the cleaner they are, the less crap you're going to have building up. And I don't have CBN wheels for the grinder. I just use the pink ones. And I figure the cleaner they are, the less you got to dress them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for Morton. Does your carburetor have a plastic idle jet? Does it have that plastic screw, or does it have like a metal screw on top of the carburetor?
Stella, I scored big on this one. I gave him the link to Hobby Motor. Yeah, he can go see.
Okay. No. I mean that's fine. I just want to make sure.
Some of the older ones they just have a cap screw, and some have.
Right.
And to be honest, the cap screw ones much easier to work with.
And I would say that 95% of the carburetors that I have, even like the clone ones, I don't see those plastic ones that often. I really don't. I only see the metal ones.
Well, really, I see the plastic.
I have a Honda HIX mower with a GCV 190 on it. That's my personal mower.
Right.
It's got the plastic jet
plug
right in it. But I usually see it on the older ones and on some of the clone ones, but the newer ones and the really cheap ones, the little 130, 140 cc ones, they all run the plastic.
Well, my generator videos, I got two of them that are like going off the charts right now because of the hurricane. They're on like a I don't know, some sort of like Generarch or whatever, and it's got like the clone carburetor. That's the one that I do have the plastic one on, but I really don't show how to clean that. So I mean, it was like it worked just fine. I was just going over, here's what you got to look at this, but it really wasn't that dirty. So,
but I mean, on a generator in general, I mean, Robert had the issue earlier, but a generator always runs under a load. So it is, and you can see when James Condon is doing it. His hunting and searching is offload. It is not onload. It's
well, out here the tradesmen use them, and they might idle for 15 minutes, and then they might run for 10.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to get that. You got to get rid of that.
Yeah. And also, I mean, if there's one of my poor neighbors that has an engine that surges, it'll be like
your ears like pop up. Yes.
It'd be like 6.8 seconds later. I'll be there. Hi, how you doing? Can I help you? Yeah, I'll do it for free.
I hear somebody hit something with their mower, and I'll like yell across the street. I heard
that. Come on over. Bring money.
All over, people are hitting those pipe stands for shutting off the water down 8 feet, and because in an older neighborhood they stay there and the soil goes down.
That's right.
And my house is. You just hear that chunk.
That's that line between properties. That's always in straight lines, and whenever there's a break in it, it's an official type,
easement.
The land. Yeah,
easement.
There you go. He comes out and he hammers down this big old a metal pole, and it sticks up this much when he's done. And you can't touch it. You're not supposed to touch it. I mean, that thing brings in so much business. It's not even funny.
Well, if it was me, I'd be getting out there with my sledgehammer. I'd be driving that on into the dirt. So.
Yeah, but then it's only got six more inches until it hits the pipe.
No, but I mean, legally here, you can't touch it. And
yeah.
So
I tapped mine down about 4 inches. But it still heaves. Mine heaves that much in the frost. Goes up and down, up and down.
Oh, yeah, because of the frost. And
4.5 feet of frost.
Oh, geez.
I had one many years ago. I didn't end up getting to fix the mower. There's a guy probably about 3 or 4 houses down from me had a little lawn chief. And he goes, it won't cut unless it's revved up real high. He manually tied that governor back. That motor was turning over 5,000 RPM, and I was
it runs good. It runs good.
Yeah, it runs good.
I told him, I said that's going a little fast. Yeah, I got to tie it up. I said, that's not going to be good for that motor. He goes, it'll be fine. It's ran like that for a while. So I come back up through the house, and I'm sitting on the porch, and I hear this thing buzzing away down there. All of a sudden, I hear a loud clank followed by silence.
Yeah.
Walk down the alley next day, there sits the lawnmower out by the garbage with about a 3-inch hole in the side of the crankcase, and I'm like, oh.
I've had a machine in where the guy took, on a Honda, the governor spring down at the bottom.
It's a good size.
They took that off, hooked it onto the governor arm, and secured it somewhere so it would run full tilt.
That's about 7,000 RPM.
I mean, unless that thing is in grass, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, But I don't know what people are thinking, but I've seen being duct tape. I mean, duct tape the governor arm.
We've all seen it, eh? We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Well, my theory is they deserve what they get.
Well, they don't know, Stella. They just don't know.
Bruce, you're exactly right. People don't know what they don't know, and I try to give the benefit of the doubt.
When somebody uses a bed spring for a idle spring, which is just like using a piece of iron,
right.
You got to give them credit. They tried.
Yes, they tried.
They did. Yep.
Now, I didn't say nothing to the guy, but like I said, I walked by and saw that, and it was covered with oil, and I seen the hole. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I knew it.
Parts.
Well, it ended up as scrap.
Yeah.
But, it's like, then I come down a couple days later, and the guy's out there with a brand new Craftsman with a Tecumseh on it. And I'm like, are you going to do the same thing to this? Oh, no, this cuts good. I'm like, don't touch the governor. That's a job for the governor.
Don't you guys, when you see a carcass like that, you're thinking like, good carburetor.
Mm-hmm. Rewind, carburetor.
Right.
I'll even break them down for the. I used to, not anymore, but I used to break them down for the keyway.
Yeah.
I have enough now.
Well, later that day, I was going to go down there and claim that mower for the good carburetor and stuff.
You should.
And I get down there, the scrap guy beat me to it.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn it.
I found one in the alley, a lawnmower with a bag on it, brought it in, tested it for leak down compression. I used the drill on compression to get it past whatever RPM it is. And I sold that mower for $100.
There you go.
What was actually wrong with it, Bruce?
It was just abandoned. The wheels were bent, faced in, and I just put new lifters on wheel, And that was the worst thing. I think they just were frustrated. And the kid had painted the wheels silver. Obviously it was about a 12-year-old kid who was trying to get it going. There was just lots of stuff wrong with it that took little things, Yeah.
I thought of the perfect way to get more runtime out of a Toro Time Master. And I found, I'd never done it to mine because I don't run it that long here. But get one of those 1.5 gallon or 2 gallon fuel tanks like you used to see on the commercial lawn boys. Make some bracketry and find a way to mount that on the frame of the mower. There you go.
Yeah.
And they even got a shutoff valve already on them.
Has any of you ever repaired a leaky AYP tractor fuel tank? That sits right, by the firewall, right there, up there. Have you guys ever repaired one of those? leaking.
Is that the one right ahead of the steering wheel?
Yep.
I've never repaired them, but I've worked on them before when I did tractors.
Yeah. I got one coming in next week with a leaky fuel tank. And I was wondering if it's just going to get the old soldering iron treatment, or
okay. I did both on one that was like that, and I used soldering iron, and I used
JB Weld.
JB Weld, because it works on plastic just as well as it does. Don't use the quick dry, because that doesn't work at all. But
okay.
Really?
Yeah. And then I use 2 or 3 layers of it. I let it start to set up, and then I stick on another layer. It takes about an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah. So first you melted it with the soldering iron, and then applied.
And then put JB Weld on. I sanded it a bit afterwards. Not hard, because you don't want to break that crack. And then JB Weld.
How about that that putty you get that's in a stick form and you knead it together?
I have never had luck with that.
I did it many years ago. I did it on an old steel 028, and it was my own fault I had to do it because it was the old point type ignition system, and I was going to convert it to an atom ignition, and I was drilling, and I went too deep with the drill and drilled a little hole in the tank. So I had to take the tank off, sand that spot. I put a little patch of that on there, and
yeah, that would work
real good, and it held.
Well, that's a clean hole though, like a crack. You don't even know where the crack ends because you can't see it. So I would drill a hole in the end of the crack on each end, and then put my stuff on there.
Yeah.
How about when
I
you
was
get the
thinking
crack in the tanks?
if there's any plastic welding material you can use in those tanks, that I've seen some people use zip ties as the filler.
I've tried that too.
Yeah.
You know what?
I like that idea.
There's Chinese zip ties and there's North American or European zip ties.
Yes.
Use a good zip tie.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I bought a big bag because they were on sale. You know how that goes. On sale, that's my favorite price. So you pull it in, it goes.
Yeah.
It breaks. Like, okay, let's take another one, and this is just to hold cables.
Right. No, I use the cheap ones. Like if I'm doing a lawnmower that's got a broken brake cable, I'll get a pair of pliers. I'll deactivate the brake, put a tie wrap on it, fix the mower because I don't want to spend money until I get the thing running, and then I'll spend money on the cables and all that other stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, Motorhead says that Auto Body sells plastic welder kits. That sounds like tools. I like that.
Hank.
Yeah, Hank. Hank, you got a plastic welder kit?
Yes.
Oh, he's not moving.
Why do you even ask Hank? He has everything.
I know. He's got it. He's probably got two.
Tom Dobie sent it to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your video's frozen, but your voice is coming through good.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's because he's so good looking, he doesn't have to move around.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies come to him.
Yeah, you're still frozen, Hank. But...
Oh, there we are.
Oh, there you go. Hey, you actually just had to move. Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Takes less data to send a still.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Dobie sent me a plastic welding kit.
Al McLean, who says that the filament for 3D printing machines might work. Yeah, it might.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I bet you could do that with weed eater line.
Bye, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Motorhead says you got to use proper fill plastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried every.
I was actually thinking, and I know this might be a little, but hot glue gun stuff, because that doesn't turn all rigid. It is still flexible.
A little bit.
Put on a glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I have one of those.
Doesn't the glue sticks, doesn't gasoline affect them though?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did. I was going with my sliding door, and the winter that stops the air from coming in was cracked up. So I ordered another one from the door place, and they sent me the glue and the strip.
Yeah.
And so I went and I was going to pour a little bit on my brush because I thought it was like glue, but it was like water. So I asked the wife to get me a cup, and she gave me a little styrofoam cup. So I put it in there, and it melted the whole cup. Oh my God! The trouble I had with that glue.
I'll tell you.
First thing I do with any kind of glue is get it on my fingers, and my fingers are black for a week and a half.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what works good on those older lawn boy tanks. And I know Bruce has heard of it, and I'm sure that Stella's seen it. It's called Seal All. Comes in a tube.
What's it? Greasy shop rag. Scott just used it the other day to seal a fuel line to the tank. He puts goops it around and pulls it through a little bit into the hole.
What's it called?
Right. Seal All. It's in a yellow tube.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, we don't get that over here.
You know, I don't know what's happened to me, but
contact cement, Stella, but gasoline won't touch it.
Yeah, look at Greasy Shop Rag's latest video.
But contact cement does go hard, so if there's any vibration, it'll crack.
Right.
Yeah, this actually, because you know some of them lawn boys, those older D series and the older F series,
you can see the gas in the tank.
Steam there, they crack there, and that's where the failure happens. And the Seal All, if you can get it in there, actually works pretty good. I dab it in there, and then I take like a popsicle stick or something, something narrow, spread it like you would body filler, and then another layer.
That's where I used the JB Weld.
Ray McCarthy says a wild turkey will also melt a styrofoam cup.
That'll melt your insides too.
And now it's called degreasing, and
that's it for this week, guys. I'm going to end it. You guys can stay in the chat, and we can do a little after chat. But everybody out there, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thanks for having me, Kenny.
Hopefully we
great
comments
tonight. Great
we'll
comments.
see you next week.
Good stream.
If Arch is on, we'll see you in Arches later.
That's right.